Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells every time I drop a video. You will be the first to know about it. New York City, New York State. I be doggone. I'm going to guess that by the time the November presidential election hit, by the time the next mayor and governor's elections hit, New York will go from blue to red, just like that. Because if they don't, then I know I'm dealing with some simple-minded people who only vote because that's what they mama told them to do, or that's what they spouse or significant other told them to do. Vote Democrat, no matter what. Blue, no matter who. I don't care. They're using all that money when we come in. You know, this whole migrant crisis, think about this. Think about it like this. Scenario number one. Your family is struggling to find something to eat. You're struggling to get food for your family. Somehow you go to work every day. You're working 1, 2, 3 jobs, trying to feed your family. Still on government assistance, whatever. You finally get enough money to buy food for your family for the week. Matter of fact, that's just what you do all the time. Then one day somebody from off the street comes and asks, can you spare a little bit? And you say, okay, you spare a little bit. Then the next thing you know, they come back, but then they bring somebody else. Can you spare a little bit? You kind of hesitant. You're looking around saying, damn, is any more of these people coming? And then you give them a little bit more and you send them on their way. Next day, them two come back and they bring 2 more. Now you like, wait a minute, this ain't gonna work. And the person with the common sense would be like, look, I ain't got enough for y'all. I'm sorry. I only got enough for my family. I can't feed y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to go out there and find it for yourself because I did it for myself. That's just how I gotta go. But when you're dealing with emotions, and especially I say when you got a motherly instinct, you want to make sure everybody is good. Anybody that comes to you, heard a lot of women tell these stories of, I used to watch the whole neighborhood. All the kids used to come over and I would have snacks in my garage. They'd be out there playing and then they'll come over and I have like popsicles in the cooler, or I have chips and candy and stuff or juices and things, and they'll come over and get them. And I might take them to the park or something like this, that, and the third, but you know, I was nurturing. That's what women will do for sure. Most men will be like, I'll take care of you to a point, but it gets to a point to where you're gonna have to fend for yourself. I'm gonna take care of you, but I'm gonna show you how to take care of yourself too. And then they're gonna get to a point to where, okay, now I'm gonna need you to go out there and do it for yourself. If you fail, you mess up doing what I tell you, okay, then we come back, we try it again. But I'm just not gonna give you anything. Okay? This migrant crisis, this sanctuary city crap is a nurturing way of thinking. You ain't got enough for your own people. And I'm a firm believer to say, hey, sometimes you got to cut it off because you keep helping people who ain't helping themselves. Well, they helping themselves to you. They not suffering because they getting a freebie anyway. You keep helping them, you are going to end up drowning just like them. You know, they say the best way to save a person that's drowning is to not, swim toward them face first, or go face to face. Because normally what they're going to do is they're going to grab you and they're going to grab when you, panicking, and they're going to mess around and pull you down with them, and then both of y'all end up drowning. If they do that, they say the best thing to do is to ball up in the ball and put your feet against them and kick them away from you. And that way you can get your composure. Then you go either under them or behind them and you grab them in a certain way. And then you pull them to shore. That's the only way to save a drowning person. Because the point is that the point is, if you allow them to keep doing what they're doing that's causing them to drown in the first place, they're gonna pull you down. What you gotta do sometimes is step back, look at it, think of a different way of doing it, and you either pull them with it. If they don't stop kicking and clawing and stuff, you gotta let them go. Unfortunately, it's a sad thing to say, but you gotta let them go. Airplane's going down, oxygen mask come out. What you got to do? Put your mask on first, and then you put your kids' mask on. Because if you try to put theirs on first and oxygen is leaving the cabin, by the time you get theirs on and you pass out, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. Now you passed out and dying, and they sitting there and they're gonna panic and might take their mask off trying to save you, and then they end up dying. Save yourself first, and then you have a better chance of saving everybody else. But if you allow people to keep doing what they're doing, bringing you down, you too eventually will drown. And that's what's going to happen to New York City, unless they go from blue to red. And blue is my favorite color. But in this instance, when it comes to politics, heck with that. But let's get into this story, man, because this is a jacked up story. NewYorkPost.com reads thousands of migrants in New York quietly collecting welfare through Hochul's rule change. Ain't that the governor? I believe so, but let's get into it. The Hochul administration is quietly using taxpayers' dollars to gift cash payments to thousands of migrants who don't qualify for typical welfare assistance, the Post has learned. The cash windfall was made possible by the state Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance modifying its safety net assistance program eligibility rules in May to include non-citizens with pending applications for legal asylum status. So basically what you're saying is, since you're so democratic and believe in a democratic system, you chose not to ask the people what to do with the money. You did not trust that they would give you the answer that you wanted. So you quietly changed the rule. That's why I said before, that's why I don't understand politics, and I try to study as much as I can, because when do they decide? How do they decide when the voters can vote and when they can't? Because certain things, they'll say, hey, the voters got to say if they want to raise the tax by 0.5 cent so we can pay for this. But things like this, when they got this money sitting aside, they're like, well, we're not going to tell the voters. We're just going to change it ourselves. That's not how the democracy and the democratic system work, is it? I don't think that's how they're supposed to work. Yep, it's time to change your political party. Now, I normally say you vote policy, not party, but shoot, the policy says the migrants, these illegal migrants who are here seeking asylum, who ain't seeking asylum, they just, know how to work and learn how to work the system from a different country, watching TikTok videos, working the system, coming over here, gaming the system. You need to vote for a party that's going to send them sun guns back as soon as possible. And it's not the Democratic Party. What it say? The cash windfall was made possible by the state rule change applications for legal asylum. Okay, y'all read that. The announcement was made through an under the radar message the agency sent out to social services agencies across the state. Let me click on this, man. I'm sorry. I got to click on this. It is. It's a 5-page documentation. It says from Kathy Hochul, the governor, Daniel W. Teets, commissioner, Barbara C. Guin, the executive deputy commissioner. When I put this link in the description and y'all click on it and you read it, you will see the link in the story where you can go to this document, but it's talking about the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance. This is on May 12th. What does it say? It says who's involved, who's it from, the subject, non-citizens recognized as permanently residing under color of law for safety net assistance eligibility. Effective date immediately. This was May 12, 2023. So the purpose of this GIS message is to inform social services districts of updates to the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance policy pertaining to non-citizens who are considered permanently residing under color of law, or PRUCOL, P-R-U-C-O-L. PRUCOL is not in immigration status, but a public benefit category used by OTDA for the purpose of safety net assistance eligibility. Let's see, section 3, what it say? Effective immediately, OTDA recognizes non-citizens in any of the following categories as PRUCOL for the purpose of SNA eligibility. If otherwise eligible, individuals presenting immigration documentation evidencing of any of the categories below can receive SNA. So it's kind of like SNAP, blah, blah, blah. Like I say, what's it called? TANF. But I'll let y'all read that. Application for asylum. So the categories have application for asylum. So then they got to have them documents. Application for temporary protection status. They got to have those documents. Application for deferred action for childhood arrivals. Application for special immigrant juvenile classification, and applications for adjustment of status of lawful permanent residence. So basically, it's some more too. There's a whole lot more. Goddamn, like I say, it's 5 pages. Y'all can read that yourself. But again, it's basically saying they put in the application, they file a paperwork. Here, how you don't know if it's true or not, but they file for the paperwork, they can get this money. The OTDA declined to reveal how many migrants have received SNA checks, but estimates that 90% of New York's current migration population won't see additional benefits under the rule change. 90% of current population won't see additional. With more than 173,000 migrants coming to the Big Apple since spring of 2022, if only 10% of migrants here are eligible for SNA payments, the number of recipients could exceed 17,000 in New York City alone. More than 66,000 migrants currently remain in the city's care. OTDA spokesman Anthony Farmer insists SNA's payments to migrants are only a small portion of the $4.3 billion Hochul has already set aside to handle the migrant crisis in the absence of new federal law. Where the hell they get that money from? You know, New York has like local tax, state tax, and federal tax. They have state tax. Texas don't have state tax down here. They got $4.3 billion set aside to handle migrant crisis when you have hundreds of thousands of people who are homeless in your state. Why could you not have used that money for your own citizens? The citizens who put the money in the pot in the first place. Your money comes from taxpayers, period. The government may give you a check and set it aside, but it came from the taxpayers. And you're going to tell me that you're not going to give them the option to say, or even give you an idea or what their suggestion would be to where the money goes and how it can help people, because you want to help people, right? Now, I can understand you say, well, I don't want the people to vote because they're going to want to use the money for something selfishly. So we're not going to vote. Okay, fine. We're not going to let them vote. Okay, fine. But then you go and help not the citizens, but you go and help non-citizens. I understand they coming over here. You could have used that $4 billion to build a facility to house these people. Seriously. I mean, you had Guantanamo Bay, that was prison. I'm sorry. But still, people came over here illegally. They came over here illegal. Now, you can say that they, seeking asylum, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's the thing. If they can go on TikTok and they can find out how to come over here and game the system through TikTok videos, and they come over here and they try to cross through barbed wire and railroad cars and floating buoys not barbed wire, I keep saying barbed wire, razor wire, that are on the land, that is on the buoys and going through and trying to climb through box cars over a river, through the woods, instead of going down to the checkpoints, those people are trying to get over here illegally. But it's like it's like they don't see that. It's like they don't see the obvious. Picture, if you will. You're at home. You might be in your backyard, back there barbecuing. Or you might be in the house in the kitchen cooking, getting ready for bed, perhaps. Tucking the kids in, having them take baths, preparing dinner, getting ready for the next day, winding down, reading the newspaper in front of the fire, reading to the young chaps, and just enjoying your day. And one day someone comes and knocks on your door and say, hey, I hate to bother you, but I can smell all that good food you have there, and I'm just going through and kind of hungry, just first day of work, and just wondering if you could spare a morsel, just a morsel, just a small little morsel. I appreciate it. And I'll be on my way. You might look at this person and be like, hey, you know what? Let me help this person. Come on in. Matter of fact, we got an extra spot now. I'm gonna pat you down, leave all your stuff out here. Gonna pat you down this and the third, and make sure you got no weapons on you. But come on in, wash your hands, sit down with us, have dinner. We can break bread with you. And you sit down and you eat, and everything is good. They're coming off the street because they're leaving a bad situation. They just want something to eat, getting away from the situation they're in. And maybe you can help them out. Give them something to eat. Maybe give them a little somewhere maybe they can lay their head and rest for a little while until we can come up with a plan. And then tomorrow they get back on their feet and they're on their way out there trying to make a way for themselves, because that's what they're supposed to do as adults. But then you flip the script not flip the script, but then go to another scenario, and same person or somebody coming from the same place. This person is climbing through your window. Now your front door is open. People know that they can come to your front door and get anything they need. Whatever you can spare. They can come to the front door and you'll give them something, and they can go on their way and keep on their journey. But then you got somebody who's trying to climb through your window. So the question is, what are you supposed to do? They climb through your window. You come up to the window with a shotgun to their head, and they like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm trying to seek asylum. I'm hungry. I just want something to eat. What are you supposed to do? Seriously, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to let them in and feed them and let them stay long, and then they mess around and stay as long as they want to? But they tried to break in your house. If they would have broken your house and got in, they would have went about their way and ate your food, act like you wasn't there, probably laid on your couch, got the remote, watched TV, and said, kick me out if you want to, because I got squatters' rights. So if you see them coming through your window, what do? Do you let them in, or do you use that tool or shoo them away? Because that's what the border and these sanctuary cities are going through. You got people who are coming through windows, and when they come through windows, you still giving them food. Matter of fact, you taking food from your family who are hungry, and you giving these people that's breaking in through your window your kids food. And you tell your kids, go in there and make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We're gonna get these steak and potato, all these hot dogs and these burgers and fries and cookies and stuff that we made special for y'all on your birthday. We're gonna give to them. Y'all just going to make some peanut butter jelly sandwich. What you think them kids gonna look? What you think them kids gonna think? How you think them kids gonna look at you? Because that's how the citizens of New York, city and state, should be looking at their mayor and their governor. Because this is a bunch of bullcorn. Where in the hell you get $44.3 billion at, and why you not using it on your own citizens? That's what I was saying. At the request of New York City, OTDA made a technical update to allow a small percentage of migrants to receive certain additional support in compliance with state and federal law. He said, this is the same place that's giving out cards for $1,000 for each family. SNA is a state program similar to welfare, and it has historically provided cash payments to needy New Yorkers who don't qualify for conventional public assistance, including single adults, childless couples, and families of persons abusing alcohol and drugs. Recipients typically get monthly checks totaling hundreds of dollars and must only use the money to help pay rent and utility costs or purchase clothes and other necessities. The rule change is the latest in a long list of moves by the city and state to roll out the welcome mat for migrants, including Mayor Adams' new $53 million pilot program to supply migrant families with prepaid credit cards to purchase food and baby supplies. Critics said, it's horrible that Governor Hochul found another way to attract migrants to the state, while at the same time putting a squeeze on long-time lower and middle-class New Yorkers who can't afford to have their tax dollars go toward helping non-citizens, said Representative Nicole Maliotakis. You have people from all over the world coming to New York to take advantage of all these left-wing programs the governor, the mayor are implementing, while at the same time they're clobbering taxpayers over the head, the Staten Island Republican added. Safety Net Assistance is a program that is supposed to be for New Yorkers who temporarily need it to get through a difficult time in their lives. Councilman Robert Holden, Democrat from Queens, agreed, saying the endless handouts to the entire world are a slap in the face to every citizen who has contributed to and sacrificed for this country. It's time to end this madness, he added. Critics also warned that as the migrant population continues to soar, so will the cost, including for SNA payments. Adams has estimated it will cost New York City $10.6 billion to deal with the migrant surge through June 2026, and last week asked Governor Hochul to cough up another $1.6 billion in migrant aid because the Big Apple holds a vast majority of the state's migrant population. Man, I'm on the wrong side of the money, because these cats are throwing around billions. And I'm thinking I'm doing something when I buy a freaking $200 wine refrigerator. I think I'm doing something. And these cats are throwing around billions like it ain't nothing. People coming in from overseas, across the world. Just give them 10 billion. Just give them $10.6 billion. Okay, that's cool. What? But what about my uncle here? He's homeless. He got degrees. He got laid off from work because they downsized and because they increased minimum wage. So his boss man couldn't afford to keep him. So he got laid off, and now he's trying to find a job and he can't because he overqualified. Can you give him some assistance for a little while until he can find something? Nope, can't do it. Can't do it. What he could do is try to go to another country and see if they'll do the same thing for him that America is doing for the rest of the world. I doubt he'll find that though. New York City is already facing a public assistance crisis helping needy United States citizens. Last year, the city provided 720,765 residents cash assistance as welfare rolls reached highs not seen since 2000, the Post reported last week. To handle that surge, Adams budgeted a staggering $2.46 billion in federal, state, and city funds this year to provide cash assistance to residents unable to work or pay their bills and for their children. And that's where all the money should go. You know why? Because they're paying taxes. If they're working, they're paying taxes. If they're laid off, they can't pay taxes. So it's like, can you give me a little something until I get back to work? Not people that's come over here illegally through your window and took your food and took your kids' Happy Meal. And you gave your kids peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a pickle. Think about that. A.V. Small, a spokesman for Hochul, tried blaming the migrant cost on right-wing politics. That politic bull crap, man. There's no secret here, he said, because the MAGA right killed a bipartisan deal that would have allowed President Biden to shut down the border. New York State will be forced to shoulder this burden alone and spend additional taxpayers' funds on the migrant crisis. The city's Department of Social Services didn't return the message. First of all, in the beginning, I could have sworn Biden said that the sanctuary cities would be backed by the federal government. Then once these migrants start, once Greg Abbott, the great governor of Texas, started shipping them migrants to these sanctuary cities, then Democrats got quiet. But I could have sworn they said you could sign an executive order, President Biden, and you could have wiped all this out. But no, you want to do a bill that involves Ukraine and Israel, and Ukraine and Israel got nothing to do with our border. It has nothing to do with our border. Why in the heck are you trying to put them two together? I do not understand, but it shows the bullcorn and it shows just the evilness of the politicians, especially on the Democratic side. They don't care about the American citizens. They got an agenda. I'm like a lot of people. I feel they're just letting these migrants in, one, so they can work, because the cost of living is going up to the point to where I think a lot of American citizens, we cannot sustain this. The government knows it, so they had to find a way to fix it. And when it comes to trust between the citizens and the money always comes first. So you let all these people in, let them work. Most of them probably gonna work illegally. They ain't got no citizenship. Ain't gonna pay them a lot. Might pay them taxes. Some of that money come back to the government, but you're not paying the workers a whole lot. So I guess it's the only way they can help stabilize the company. And you got these people coming over here that on the Census Bureau will identify as white, whether Hispanic or non-Hispanic, they can identify as white, which again, I don't understand the way the census works, how that criteria, who created that criteria. Because hell, it used to be back in the day, colored, Native American, Indian, black, Negro, stuff. So they change stuff all the time. But this white or black, Hispanic, non-Hispanic, I don't get it. But there's a reason for it, and it's been on the Census Bureau for years. I used to be a census taker. Was it 10, 15? No, it ain't been 10. So maybe like 15, 20 years. However, I don't know. They do it every 10 years, don't they? So it wasn't 2000. So was it 2010? It might be 2010. Because I was struggling back in the day, going to school, trying to make it, y'all. Like I said, I used to give plasma and do census and go door to door taking census counts. Man. Ooh, anyway. Again, I know since then it's been that whole Hispanic, non-Hispanic. But I think they knew before then what was coming. And so now it's here. It's here. And it's messing up the citizens of America, and the politicians don't care. I guess they think they're going to fix it, but you ain't going to fix it on my watch. We're going to get you people out of here. But anyway, tell me what you think of this story, man. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.